11 cups. What's the secret recipe?
Big pots and Plagron, much love and much passion. Yeah, this is what
That probably the driving factor, man. Passion.
I'm not keen on keeping my recipe a secret. This is for me nice to see, but also for the people who follow this recipe, because they are improving their yield, they are improving their quality, and this is what it's about when you're growing. Yeah.
If you could, from now on, only smoke one strain of cannabis for the rest of your life, what would the strain be?
Strain which I'm gonna smoke till the rest of my life.
Hey, what's up, people? I'm here at another Legendary Talks together today with Daniel from THC Turbine. Daniel has been using Plagron nutrients now for over 10 years, and the last 1.5, 2 years has been actively entering in cups. I think he won 11 cups already by now, so we thought it was time to get him here and have a little talk with him.
Hey,
Daniel,
nice for having me.
Yeah.
I'm pleasure to be here.
very nice having you here, man.
Cannabis.
Yeah, that sounds like a plan, man. Let's talk about cannabis. So tell me, where did your journey with cannabis begin in your life? What was your first interaction with it?
Oh,
A fun story?
you take me way back. I think somewhere 2000, 2001. I think I just started listening to the LP Chronic 2001 from Dr. Dre.
Of course.
Was something like what made me curious about what the people were rapping and singing, and this was pretty quick that the decision in my head came. I want to try cannabis. I want to smoke it. And as little 13-year-old youth, I was finding a friend who also was having the same interest, and pretty soon we ended up in the apartment of Hans and Axel in Germany, where we smoked our first bucket, I think is the way.
Oh, damn, okay.
Didn't even start it with a joint or something smooth. No, man, we smoked dirty Moroccan hashish through a bucket in Germany. Yeah, man.
You have to start somewhere, I suppose, right?
Yeah, man. That's pretty soon I can basically say after the first time I smoked, I walked down the stairway of the house, the paranoia kicked in, and I basically realized, oh man, this is the first time I basically have to look out for police. Somebody catch me now. Nobody catched me ever at this time. I was a little boy, yeah. But blood clot, this hit hard, yeah.
Yeah.
And from
The
there
paranoia
on,
is real.
I started to look out. Here in the Netherlands, probably a little different feeling, but yeah.
Yeah, Germany's been very hard with that, right?
And this is how it started. I basically was lucky that I had the passion to go for good weed and not smoke always the cheapest shit. But yeah, this is how it started.
That's lovely, man. So that was a bit early, I suppose, I guess, 13 years old, but you knew back then already immediately, like, okay, this is something that I really like, that I'm going to keep doing it? Or did it kind of evolve there? Because I remember for myself, I was 16 or 17, actually. I'm not sure anymore. I think I was 16. But I know that the first time I also didn't feel anything. But the second time when I did feel something, I immediately realized, man, I really like this feeling and I want to keep doing it. And I really had strongly also this feeling like, whoa, is kind of like, is this all? Is this what all of the hype has been about and what we're being made scared of? This is it? Like, okay.
Basically, I didn't smoke a day. I didn't live the day in freedom without smoking weed after my first time smoking. So basically a month you can cut off of my life, but the rest of the time I smoked, and every time I could smoke and was not behind some bars, I smoked. Yeah.
Fair enough, yeah. Yeah, man.
But maybe this is a good thing to tell you that in Germany I was put to prison for months because of smoking weed at age 16. Was
That is crazy, dude.
Not a good time to put a rebellious mind into prison, yeah. So in this time, I basically start reading the Bible, start reading about Haile Selassie, develop my faith. Rastafari helped me in the rebel cause, in the resistance cause, because
He's giving
surely
you goosebumps, man.
surely how shall a 16-year-old boy write a letter to his victim when he was just smoking a spliff? Yeah,
That's crazy.
so in Germany, I think it's in every country, you should normally get after 2/3 of the time out. They didn't let me out because I didn't write this ominous letter to my victims because I still don't know to who I should address that.
I didn't realize it, but you have to write a letter to your victim to indeed get out earlier than like
juvenile prison,
because then you're showing that
social approach, trying to get the young mind on the right path. Yeah, so everybody should write a letter. Somebody who knocked somebody down.
Yeah.
There was a guy with me who put some nerve toxin in the ventilation system of his school, and 20 people fall down. He got the same sentence like me. So there I realized something is wrong with the system.
Yeah, and I suppose that only like fired you up more to like keep doing what you believe in, right?
After they let me out, my whole cell was decorated with Haile Selassie quotes, with Bible quotes, and I'm pretty rested in my faith. So this gives me a lot of power, and I think especially when you're a young boy, then you have to deal with so much dislike of your country and of the police, then you should be having some wood, some rock where you can lean on.
Yeah,
which
some
gives you
calm. You
power.
can't just always have this fighting the negativity, right? Because it's gonna kill you also. But then I'm curious, dude, because what does like being a Rasta or following the Rastafari faith mean for you?
It's pretty personal thing because there is no Rastafari faith like there's a Catholic church or there is a Protestant church.
Yeah.
So I believe in Haile Selassie, that he is the one the Revelation chapter 4 is talking about. Most Christians believe that Jesus Christ is the person. I always think or compare myself a little bit with the time in the Roman Empire. First followers of Jesus Christ were basically persecuted by Roman army, and this is like we Rastafaris have to deal with in this time because Haile Selassie left this planet in the form of flesh in 1975. So we know he's still around, but Babylon tried to tell us something about funeral, burial. I don't believe this. I believe in righteousness. I believe in equality. I believe in the Bible. And this is what Haile Selassie teaching is standing for: equal rights and justice for every man, for every woman. And I think this is a pretty just cause to proclaim. And yeah, this is what I believe. This is what gives me power. Also in the times today where people trying to, or where different powers try to split society, I'm a man of unity. I try to bring people together, and yeah, this is what I try to do.
I can dig it, man. Yeah. And I personally also see, because we know each other for a bit longer already, I see how calm and collected you are usually and how you handle stress. And I would
even the best philosophy doesn't take away that sometimes,
of course,
the most biggest
we still have all heavy emotions. It's still it's the way of looking at it and the way of handling it in the end. And I think I mean, without sticking too many feathers up your ass, I do like respect how you do handle stress and stuff, and you always stay very correct and fair. And yeah, well,
thank you. This is nice words, but I just can give them back to you.
fair enough, man. Thank you, dude. So we have enough feathers in our asses now. Let me ask you, dude. Growing, how did that start? Because we know, okay, when you were about a young little boy, then you started smoking. But when did you start growing your first plants? How did that come about?
I think this has also a lot to do with Rastafari, because if you follow certain philosophy in life and you don't believe in Babylon system, you don't believe in capitalism system, then you don't work for nobody else. You have to employ yourself. If you employ yourself, you work for yourself, you're basically having responsibility to build your life, to build your castle in a way. When I'm talking about my home, You have to build your friendship, you have to build your relationship, and this is something which for me could not be done without the weed. The weed is like the fundament of all these things, because the weed brings me the money to sustain my life, to basically live in a system which is not my system, to pay the bills which are not my bills, which the government want me to pay. So yeah, this is what I do. Start growing weedy when I was 24 years old, because before I was hustling a little bit. I can talk about it because Dirty Babylon cannot bring me in prison for that thing, which is 10 years ago. So I definitely brought my fair share of cannabis over the border. But yeah, this was not the life for me, because I like to deal with weed. I like to trust people. And when you do both together, sometimes it clashes. Sometimes you get some metal in front of your head. People want money from you. People want to whip you. And this is what happened. So at this age, 24, I started studying, started growing my ganja, starting working for myself in a more sustainable way. And yeah, pretty soon after, I basically learned that this is the way to do it. This is the way for me. And yeah,
Also,
so it all started.
and is that then also the moment where you started using Plagron immediately? From the start, or did you work with other nutrients before?
My first plants I started growing outdoor, and I think my first strain which I growed outdoor was Purple Punch and Dutch Passion #1.
Classics.
Yes, these were outdoor strains. I informed myself a little bit about it, but yeah, this was the first time we growed in big pots, like beet, like small field. Yeah.
Was that on the balcony?
Yes, it was on my balcony, and pretty soon I couldn't couldn't really walk over my. You have to know my balcony is
I
like
know it.
100 square meters. Not a small thing, and we had a lot of plants. We used Plagron from the beginning, but I can tell you that I used just the Terra Bloom and the Terra Quo in the growing phase.
Sure.
Yeah.
But that's your base nutrients. That's all you need really to start with, right? And as a new grower, I wouldn't advise people to start working with all the different bottles.
I mean, it was outdoor operation.
And outdoor.
Time. It was like pretty guerrilla-like, and
Dude, I seem to remember, is this also the time where you had your landlord visit sometimes? And like,
yeah.
can you tell this story? Because I laughed my butt off the first time that you
Oh
shared it with me.
man! First of all, my landlord asked me when he was on my balcony which of my plants, because I not just grow ganja, I also grow tomatoes, peppers, cauliflower.
Yeah, you have the biggest houseplants that I've ever seen. Also, it's huge. Like, this houseplants go to the ceiling of his living room. It's not one. It's like I don't know how many there.
I like to grow, man, but he asked me which of these plants are these so-called marijuana plants, these forbidden plants, yeah, and I showed
no
him.
idea.
I showed him, and he looked at it. Everything was cool, everything was smooth. But on the same talk, he told me that the municipality building is getting built next to me, and that they are getting so high that they basically start asking themselves what is standing there. So this was the time.
There's a green balcony over there.
My landlord say, "Hey Daniel, why don't you put them inside?" And I put them inside, so everything's smooth,
I need a landlord like that. Did you make any big mistakes when you started out growing that you think, oh man, how did that ever happen?
I think the biggest mistake was starting growing outdoors, because we are living in a city, we have light pollution. It's simply not possible to grow good ganja outdoor in a crowded city where you have light pollution. Maybe when you're living somewhere in the countryside without no light of a city, then you can do it. But where I live, it's not possible to grow good outdoor weed, and this was my biggest mistake in the beginning, and the realization came after my first harvest indoor.
Yeah. Then you see what it can actually be, right?
The thing is, look, when you focus on outdoor, you have one harvest a year, And this is basically the thing you have to deal with. You have to work the whole year to basically make this one harvest count,
And then hope that it's a good harvest and that the weather is nice and you don't get rain and pot rot and bullshit.
If it's starting raining the whole September, look outside today. If this is the whole September weather, then good night outdoor plants.
And all that effort for nothing,
Yeah. But yeah.
Yeah.
After harvesting the first time indoor, it was like a revelation. It was like flood glad. It was so nice.
I can only imagine, yeah.
Yeah, and I think from my first indoor grow, I also used products like power roots. I used products like sugar oil, but there was not every Plagron product out at this time, which is nowadays out. So it was also evolution, and it was also a financial thing in the beginning because I didn't started growing with LEDs. I started with a 600 watt
HPS.
Yes. And this was like, at this time, it was the thing to do, And 2 years after, I started buying my first LED.
Oh, really? Already?
Optic 8 Plus from California.
Then?
We flew it in. It took like 4 weeks till it was there. Man, I had to pay extra taxes on it because
the customs, right? It's crazy.
Yes,
To fuck you over so hard.
But I had it, and from this time on,
you were happy with the results back then already, because that's quite a few years ago, right?
Yes, it was like, I think now 8-9 years ago that I bought it, and
there was already good quality stuff that you were pulling off.
I had 2 tents at this time, one with the HPS and one with the Optic 8 Plus, and you could see pretty much the difference that the LED weed was simply whiter, nicer to look at,
a bit more compact.
Both weed was compact at this time, but you could see that the weed was looking nicer and that with fewer energy you were getting more weed out of it. So
interesting,
this was my first experience with LEDs, and I can say the optic, after 1.5 years, you could really see a decline in performance.
That is really fast.
It is fast, but at this time they basically wrote that the lifespan of such a lamp is maximum of 2 years. So
I see.
We didn't expect it much more. So.
Yeah, fair enough. Damn, but that those early generation LEDs must have been really expensive also, right?
Yes, I think it was.
It's crazy that they would have like a 2-year
2K, and
right?
Takes,
and then 2 years, man. That's.
Hey man, it was worth it. It's
as you said, fair enough.
Good investment is always worth it if you can put it to use.
Yeah, that makes sense. Also, I can dig it. So your biggest mistake, you would say, then, is growing outdoor. But if you look around you, other growers that you see starting out, do you see any specific mistakes that they make a lot in the beginning that you think like, man, that is unnecessary, or if only you knew this, or?
If you have a certain size of a tent, for example, you should also use this size. And a lot of people are using small pots. A lot of people
are not filling up their space properly.
Yes. If you have the space, use the space right, because it's a pity if you don't do it.
And it's a way out of energy.
A lot of people also think that they can do it very cheap. This is for me a trigger, because I just don't like if people think that what we are doing is cheap work. They buy China lamp for €300 with, I don't know. I saw people growing with 200, 250 watts, and then they complain that they in the end get fluffy butts. And I don't know. It's a lot of things which I see which I wouldn't do like it, but everybody has to find his own path. There are many paths to glory, and I know that the thing I do is, for me, very, very good, and all the people I talk about are happy with it. But I also know that there are other ways to go to glory, and I would never say, "Oh, you have to do it like me is doing it." No, man, you have to find the way which is suiting to you, and if it's the way which I do it, then it's even better,
So let's talk about that then.
Yeah.
What is the way? How do you grow? Do you have a certain style that you like growing? Tell us about that. Did it evolve this way, or did you always go like that?
Yeah, look, it's always a thing with the legal guidelines. We are living in country which allows three plants per person, so we cannot throw 20 plants per person, yeah. And
I
if
mean, you can, but it's a little bit risky.
exactly, I'm always talking about legal guidelines
Yeah.
because I like to, if our government is making a step in the right direction, we should also
Abide by that, yeah.
yes.
Yeah.
But big pots is for me the starting point. A lot of people don't like to use long vegetation phases.
Sorry, and when you say big pots, how big are we talking about? Are you
100 liter I'm
That
talking
is big.
about, man.
Yeah, just to clarify, because 20 liters is big for
Yes.
a lot of people, but 100 liters is serious business.
Look, I start when I cut my clones, I let them get rooted, and when they are rooted, I put them in 9-liter pots, and from the 9-liter pots, they probably use 3 to 4 weeks under 200-watt lamp, vegetative lamp, to get to the state where I want them to have, and then I put them in a 100-liter pot because they are completely rooted. It's easy to put them in a bigger pot. I give them the light mix and I let them for 2 weeks in it. And after the 2 weeks, I spread it them mostly in an even way that they cover the whole growing area. And then I give them flowering time. And from the flowering time, basically, I have a growing or fertilizer schema which I made by myself, which involves a lot of Plagron products, basically all Plagron products which are available. I do not grow biologically. I do not grow living soil. I grow purely mineralic because I like to handle my grow. I like to control my grow, and I like to know what I'm doing. And with the experience of exactly this way I do it, I think it's one of the safest ways and one of the easiest ways to grow money on trees.
Yeah, you kind of know the buttons which you can use to adjust when you see some kind of issue.
Yeah.
You are like talking about with living soil.
I know a
don't
lot.
have the tools to really adjust it how you like it.
I know a lot of people growing living soil. I know a lot of people growing biologically. And again, I don't want to take no glory away from the ways they are doing it. A lot of people growing Bumberclad nice wheat with it, but it's always experience thing. It's always space thing. You can never grow as much, or you can never harvest as much flour from a living soil area which has the same size or dimensions like a mineralic area. It's a lot of knowledge involved if you really want to go deep into living soil, and there are people who doing this like top at the top, and big up to everybody who do it like this. But the outcome, the wheat which I want to have, is what I grow. And if I wouldn't like it the way I do it, or if I would prefer some other outcome, then I would change it. But I tried living soil wheat. I tried a lot of it. And let's say, talking in percentages, maybe 5% of this living soil wheat convinced me. Yeah, I'm a very critical guy when it comes to weedy. Also, maybe just 30% of the mineralic wheat which I see convinces me. Yeah. But the ratio is just lower with the living soil. And I don't say that living soil is bullshit. I just say that living soil, it's needed to have a deep knowledge of what you're doing, and the people who do it, big up. But the people who just started and think, oh, we heard about living soil, it's the fancy new thing.
Yeah,
Rather stop.
Fair enough, yeah. Your way is the mineral way, and you don't feel like you're missing out on anything when it flavor, taste, or whatever. And I think it's fair to say that you're not, because you won fucking 11 cups in the last year and a half, or what?
Yeah. We started in the Mary Jane 2024 in Berlin. but I competed a lot of cups where the people were writing down what medium they used to grow, how they grow. A lot of times I competed against living soil growers, biological growers, hydroponic growers.
Yeah, and you did pretty well.
It's not that I
No,
was
you don't-
the judge, but the people choose for my wheat, and this has a reason. And the reason, I think, is that I got the experience and I got the knowledge how to do it and what to use, and that I got a very easy handling system with the Plagron products, because I don't have to wait a week or 2 weeks till something applies.
Yeah.
When I see a little problem, I know what to use.
Beep, beep, beep.
Yes,
Done.
yes, man, and I fix it. So I cannot even say that in the last 8 years I had one grow which was not satisfying.
That's
Surely sometimes in the summer, especially,
of course.
quality goes a
Feel
little
issues,
down.
oh,
You
yeah.
have your issues, yes. But there was not one fail where I could say, oh, this is a loose, or this is a grow which I throw away, which I messed up. And I think this depends to a system which is easy to handle, with products which are doing what they should do. And this is why I'm sitting here in this place.
Yeah, man, fair enough. Okay, guys, to stay in the Dr. Dre sphere, we're back after a small chronic break and some technical updates. Daniel, you are fully recharged and ready to go now.
Yeah, man.
Let's continue, man.
Took 2 shots, everything cool, man.
Dude, let's talk about your last 1.5, 2 years where you started winning the cups.
Yeah, man. First thing was Jakarta Cup in Berlin, Mary Jane 2024.
That was your first cup?
Yeah, man.
Oh, crazy. I didn't know that.
And you know it better than nobody else. It's one of the biggest cups in Europe. In Germany and Netherlands, it's probably the biggest. So I texted the guys and I meet up with the guys. I gave my product. I was like, hey, can you maybe tell me who else is participating? Yeah, there were 43 coffee shops, some American brands, and you.
Started sweating. Oh, shit. Yeah, I know the feeling.
I know we went to Berlin. I know this morning I woke up 4 o'clock. It was like freaking cold night, 7 degrees. We come there, I sleep not even in a tent, just on my mattress outside.
That's that story that you shared.
Woke up 4 o'clock in the morning, smoking bongos. Not good.
That was where the other guy opened the tent.
Yeah, man, I met Toby.
Yeah, yes,
He gave me some warm drinks. He was nice to me at the coldest hour of the day. Sounds a little bit wrong, but yeah. Anyway, we were going to the Mary Jane. It was my first Mary Jane as well. It was the Friday of the Mary Jane opening day of the European Championship in Germany, and it took some while. 9 o'clock, it became in the evening. We were sitting in front of the main stage, and then we were going there, holding our hands like yeah, well, like really going for it. And I think I entered in 4 categories. The first 3 categories were over. I see how my brother takes down the phone to film, and I basically gave him a small hit and say, man, we're gonna win the cup now, film it. And I just know that it was neus van de zalm. It's a Dutch expression for the nose of the salmon.
Yeah.
This is how I called it.
Like a really quality piece, right? The neusje van de zalm.
Yeah, man.
We have here.
And I know I heard neus, and then something in my head made beep. I was crying, I was happy, I was jumping, and this was the first cup, yeah, man. And
I remember seeing that video also online, actually, and I think even the Jakarta Cup people, they were like really amazed, like, whoa, somebody finally has like a real reaction instead of, okay, thank you, okay.
hey, it's like emotion, and
Yeah.
emotion tingles emotion, because
For sure.
these Jakarta guys are still good friends for me, or became good friends for me. And it was the ignition. It was the ignition for my competitive sense.
Yeah.
You know myself. You know I play Scrabble. You know I consider myself a very competitive
Yep.
personality. Sometimes it interferes with my Rastafari beliefs, but yeah, if I do something, I want to do it 100%. And from this time on, we started looking out for other cups, and it's continued with the German Hempcraft League, with the Amsterdam Coffee Shop Awards, with the Hush League, with the Dutch Pro Cup. Then this summer we also went to the NR Wheat Cup, to the Europe's Finest Cup. We went also to the Jack Herer Cup. We went to Cannabis, and yeah, everywhere we go,
Something sticks, it seems like.
yeah, and it's for me. If look, you know it as well. When you compete at Cannabis Cups, then not always the winner is the best wheat, and not every cup is made with the honesty we hope and wish for. So when you have a resume which shows that you won 11 cups in 12 months, then something must be done right, yeah?
Yeah.
And it's not for me about winning cups, but it's a thing which shows you that you're doing it right. And this is for me the better thing about it, that I see that the people like my product and that I do what I do in the right way. And as I do not followed after my study the way of working in the society like most people, I do not have a boss or somebody who tells me you did it good. So this is for me like my appreciation, my
Recognition also.
recognition. Yes,
Yeah, man,
and
I get what you're saying.
yeah.
So let me ask you this then. 11 cups?
Yeah.
What's the secret recipe? How do people get 11 cups?
I would say big pots and Plagron, much love and much passion. Yeah, this is what
That probably the driving factor, man. Passion.
I'm not keen on keeping my recipe a secret. So I also spread it. I also gave it to different people. I see that different people also grow much better results than they did before. I see also
with the system with the big pots and the Plagron.
Yes. With the Shimata I made, everything works out, and this is for me nice to see, but also for the people who follow this recipe, because they are improving their yield, they are improving their quality, and this is what it's about when you're growing, yeah. And my brother, for example, he started a year ago growing, and I teach him everything, and he won 2 of these 11 cups which THC Turbine won. He won, and much nicer to see yourself win is to see your brother win. So
I imagine, man. Yeah, that must be fun indeed.
Yeah, man.
Because you are doing THC Turbine together with your brother, right?
Yes, THC Turbine is a brand. We are also trying to make this brand to a cannabis social club. We already registered in 2023, and we are going to apply soon for the license. And yeah, there's nothing better to making the things you love legally. So this is what we are going for, and this is what we already do now, but just after the legalization in Germany, as you can understand, we are back in this country. So yeah, we are hoping that we are getting our license still in this year, that we can start grow on a bigger scale, start with the pheno hunting, which is a big point, because as a grower, you know, the pheno hunting is so much of the success. Yeah, you can have the best setup, you can have the best fertilizer, you can have a lot of passion. If you have shitty genetics, it's also not doing the right outcome. But yeah, maybe this is all a combination of it. Yeah, and if we have pillars like Plagron, we have pillars like decent vegetative phase, big pots, a lot of passion. We are using sticks to widen our plants, to basically make the canvas of the plants bigger, to get the yields we want. With one plant, it's no problem to harvest between 200 and 300 grams if you're doing it right. And yeah, this is
You mentioned the genetics before, but how do you choose your genetics? Is there like certain seed banks that you gravitate towards so that you know that are delivering consistent quality, or is there certain strains or certain strain mixes that you're looking for?
Look, there's one thing which is consistent quality, and there's another thing which I put in focus when I look for my seeds, and this is the story of the seed bank. And there's one partner which I would like to put out. This is Silent Seeds, formerly known as Dinner Femme. I think this is quality above and above, you know. This is like really cup winner material. And
Because help me, your B45 is
yeah,
from site?
yeah, man.
Is there other stuff that you're growing at the moment from site?
B45 is a cup winner from Silent Seeds from THC Turbine. Pink Sunset is a cup winner from THC Turbine from Silent Seeds. And we quote the Polar Gelato, which we never entered in a cup because basically I smoked it all by myself.
So that was probably also a cup winner then, I would say.
Yeah, at my own cup, we also had Silent Seeds strains, not grown by me, not grown by anyone I knew at this time. Like the mint candy, which were winning a prize.
Okay.
There were many mint candy I grow at the moment. Silent Seed for me, my biggest support, big ups to these guys.
Great genetics, a good partner for you.
Yeah, man, and good-hearted people, you know. It's something when you meet somebody and they give you a warm hug and they invite you to food, they give you some nice weedy when you're in Barcelona. It's something different than going to shitty CSCs and not knowing where to go. So big up Silent Seed, man.
Awesome. Yeah, and you immediately, that's a way different way of, and way better way of connecting with somebody than sitting at a boardroom meeting table and
look, man, connecting is always about looking somebody in the eye, talking with somebody. And this is how we met. This is how so many good people in this society met you and me. And I think this is the way you do it. You talk with somebody, you put your heart in your mouth and you talk, you know.
and you feel the vibe immediately if it matches or not.
If you don't feel it, you don't engage in certain relationships. So, yeah, man.
Very true indeed. So, is there any fun stuff that you had happen at one of the cups, perhaps? Any fun stories that you can share with me?
Oh man, I had many fun stories. Bad stories also, yeah, man.
Yeah, let's keep it at the fun stories. We keep the bad for after.
For me, the most fun definitely was organizing my own cup because I could give the feeling which ignited this fire in me to so many people. And I met so many good friends there which I didn't know before. I met so many good growers which I didn't know before. So it's maybe not the lasting story, but it really was for me like the nicest thing to see all these different people from different countries all over Germany coming together at this one place. And yeah, then there were things like, I don't know, when I won my first cup, I showed it to almost everybody at the camping area, to some old women who didn't know what cannabis growing is. I was very proud in this proud moment. Yeah, you know. But yeah, these are things which I think if you got the first time recognition for growing weedy,
you're gonna be pretty proud, especially when it's a Jack Harrow cup, right?
You know what you're talking about, my friend.
Do I? I don't know. Yeah. That's cool, man. So, that's some behind the scenes stuff from the cups. And what about if we talk about just the scene in general? now compared to 10 years ago? Because you've been doing this for quite a while.
Look, man, you have cannabis, and in cannabis you have different trends, and this is maybe a new thing. Maybe you can say that it came from the US, but I think like 20 years ago we had the first white widow. We had 18 years ago the first hazes which were coming. Everybody was like, oh, haze is something new. Then we had like isolator hash which was coming. Then we had the Cali weed, which was coming. You know, it always evolves. I tell you, in 1 year, maybe in 1.5 or 2 years, you will find a lot of German weed in the coffee shops, and the people will go mad for this, you know. Living soil. A lot of people use it as a marketing tool. It sells better if you put some good marketing in it.
Yeah, man.
Again, I'm not
Seen it
saying
on a lot of jars indeed. LSO, only spring water, whatever bullshit is on there. Yeah.
healthy, organic, everything, you know.
Yeah.
But there's also a lot of greenwashing in this industry, you know. So uh, trends. Nobody smoked a puffco 10 years ago. You know, the whole dabbing area got added, you know, and
Yeah, it's a whole industry on itself now, right? If I look at just how many tools and stuff you can get for dabbing, that like an average weed smoker doesn't even know what they're looking at.
I mean, at every cannabis event, you see a group of 5 to 10 people who are now heavily dabbing with this expensive, less tools. And 10 years ago, everybody looked at me with my bongo like I'm a crack junkie, you know. So
yeah, not everybody has their 10K crack pipe with them, yeah.
Not everybody, but a lot of people at this
It's becoming more and more popular.
You see it, and you see it also in the coffee shop how the menu is changed. You know, these things cost a damn lot of money. You know, and it's hard to make it also. So I know a lot of artists who focus on making resin here. Sebastian, congratulations for your third place at the Jacarra Cup resin category. No more seats. A really, really great guy, you know. And you see the passion in a lot of artists, you know. And this is nice to see, and this opens new possibilities. Also, I think the edible market is something which is extremely booming, you know, and and yeah, so you have different things which get created. You have things nobody sees Afghan hash on the coffee shop menu anymore. Where's the 0 gone? These are things which is maybe also a positive thing that you have a shift in quality because we are not have to import from Morocco, from Afghanistan. We are creating higher quality products on ourselves, you know?
Yeah, but you know about now in the Netherlands, in the legal cities, that they're really getting rid of the import hash now too, right?
Man,
Do you have any thoughts about that?
I have thoughts about that, man, but that the legal hash of the Dutch companies is shitty doesn't take away that the good hash, which was in the coffee shops the last 10 years, is not from Morocco, is not from Afghanistan. It's grown with that. It's made by with Dutch flowers in the Netherlands, and the people are now saying, "Oh, we cannot copy the Moroccan mountains. We cannot copy the air there." This is bullshit. You know, if you have fire plants, you have fire hash. And if you don't know how to make hash, then you're probably a Dutch legal company, you know?
I cannot say I stand behind that. I know too little about hash to really have an opinion there, and I haven't tried any of the hash from there, only the rosin and the isolator, which is also hash.
As I said, I'm a very critical person, and probably the medical companies didn't convince me with the products which I got. Maybe it was a bad batch or whatever.
Fair enough. Yeah, leave it in the middle indeed. But the thing is, it's not.
You know, I had one time I had a damn good start sweet, Dutch governmental weed. It was like, how was it called? It was some haze. It was some carrot cake haze. Yeah, man, carrot
Was
cake
it
haze.
gastachtig?
I don't know what it was, but there was standing 36% on it. Now, what's your thoughts about that, man?
I have to say, I would be somewhat skeptical about anything above 30 already, but let's say anything above 35.
So you're
I
skeptical.
think I've even seen 39 on one of those packages.
So you're skeptical about the legacy of the potency, and I'm skeptical about the hash. So we have two skeptical people about the governmental weed, what?
I guess so, yeah. Yeah, I don't know how it's tested also. I don't know. I don't want to accuse anybody of foul play, but to my limited knowledge, I also think that like above 30 is just quite unique and not like you shouldn't be able to get it with every strain. Yeah, I don't know.
You
wanna say
you wouldn't
something
sell it
stupid,
in
you
a
know?
coffee shop for $9.50.
$9.50. Damn. Yeah. You're making it very difficult for me to say that this must be correct. Okay. Yeah. Well, something can be said about that. Maybe we should do our own analysis. We should get one of those Van Averas devices. Small investment, but it will pay itself off. So you mentioned your event already that you did before the High Castle Sesh, right?
Yes.
What are the plans for the future looking like? Are you doing another sesh, or what other stuff do you have in your chamber basically ready to go?
We're definitely gonna do a second High Castle. You know, this the positive energy which I got from the people visiting it, from the participants of the cup, it was like very mind blowing for me. It was like
Gives a lot of energy also, right?
man, this was boomba. It was so amazing. You know, we had over 73 participants, and I don't think that there were many German cups who had more. So I'm very happy about that, and the whole setting.
Yeah, and if you see how fast it all came together also, right?
Yeah, man,
Crazy.
the whole setting, and I met too many good people in the last year to not do that, you know, and yeah. All the other things depend from the progress of our Cannabis Social Club, because this is definitely the main focus we have.
Yeah.
And yeah, when we can start growing legally, it's basically a whole new chapter for us. And
yeah, that's the biggest thing you're working towards at the moment, I suppose, right?
yeah, man.
And you're doing that together with your brother.
Yeah, man. My brother, besides his younger age, is a big help, and he's doing what he can do, and we are basically, yeah.
It's lovely that you guys can share this with each other, man.
Oh,
Must be so awesome.
Probably a lot of real hardcore smokers can share the feeling that not everybody of your family is always standing behind you.
That was going to be my next question, and be like, hey, okay, so you and your brother are forming this front. You're really going into social club, cannabis obsessed. It's fair to say, I think. Then,
yeah, man.
From your parents' side, how do
Yeah.
they feel about this? Like,
Oh,
what is supportive? Or
parents would hope that we both went different paths, but I think it
has it in hoping that your brother didn't go the same right? Yeah.
This was a big accident from their point of view, but at least from my side, I can say that my parents know that I'm not going to work anything else in my life, so
yeah,
they kind of
know where your passion lies.
Bit into the bitter apple, you know, and I have to live with it. But my parents are people who drink occasionally alcohol. They're
not cannabis people.
Not cannabis people. They are probably like 95% of the German people, you know, that they like to drink now and then. And I cannot remember my mom smoking weed, or even my dad asking for it, you know, even though, especially when it comes to my elder parts, like my grandma, I know weed in some way would help her, you know.
Yeah.
Because how many times she asked me to bring her medication from the Netherlands, you know, and this medication should be pain relieving, that she can sleep and then she don't wake up in the night, you know.
You
And
know
guess
something
what?
very good for that.
Guess what? I know something for
Yeah.
what would help her, you know.
And
But
it's all natural.
yeah, man, but this is a generational gap which
course.
we're fighting against windmills and yeah.
At the same time, I feel like I also maybe I'm wrong, but didn't you also say that when you were organizing High Castle Sesh, that like I know that some was going through your parents' place, but that your mom was like at least impressed and somewhat proud of like the size and the bigness of the thing that you were setting up there?
Oh, my mom was so rather pissed after all the packagings to still arrived, and she couldn't believe
I'm
that.
misremembering then.
But I, in the end, everything went smooth, you know. Everything's cool, you know. But
Yeah, it's always a bit of a difficult subject.
I think it's hard for non-cannabis people to imagine that we have a very decent-sized community,
Yeah.
at least when it comes to the growers who want to participate at cups and want to showcase their qualities. Then I think if you do not ask horrendous sums or amounts of weed, like 77.5 G or something like this, you know, then you get a decent cup where it's everything fair and we're not just the sponsors will win, you know. But yeah, this is how you should do it, yeah.
Fair enough. Fair enough. Well, Daniel,
Yeah,
we've
man.
been sitting here for quite a while. I think we went through all of the interesting stuff to talk about for the most part.
Yeah.
Maybe as a closing question, I could ask you if you could, from now on, only smoke one strain of cannabis for the rest of your life. What would the strain be?
I show you, man. I show you.
Oh, damn. No, it's getting dangerous here.
The strain which I'm gonna smoke till the rest of my life is Pink Sunset.
Oh, really? That's Silent Seeds, right?
Pink Sunset. Silent Seeds.
Yeah. Well, I'll have to take a little smell of that. I can dig it. Do you know the cross? What's in there exactly?
Yeah, man, I can tell you because it's Florida OG X Pink Panties.
Oh, okay. Lovely.
Yeah, man.
Okay. Well, that it is. Thank you very much for your time, man.
Man,
And thanks for the cool talk.
let's go smoking.
Everybody else, thank you very much for watching. And hopefully you enjoyed it as much as we did. And we'll see you again next time on the next Legendary Talks.
Peace out.
Bye. Peace.